political crisis, which now appears to have eased, began brewing in October last year. Impeachment moves against Governor Siminalayi Fubara, the bombing of the State House of Assembly complex, and the emergence of parallel assemblies deepened tensions. A nullified budget, unresolved disputes, banter between the executive and the legislative arms, the dissolution of the 23 local government council chairmen by the court, and violent attacks on vital oil facilities worsened the situation. By March 18, 2025, President Tinubu declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, suspending the governor and members of the State House of Assembly for 6 months. Then appointed retired military officer Ibokete Ibas as sole administrator.
It has become inevitably compelling for me to invoke the provision of the Section 305 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State with effect from today, 18th March, year 2025, and I so do.
Since then, the president has directly supervised the sole administrator's activities, while the National Assembly assumed legislative duties and inaugurated an ad hoc committee on emergency rule to ensure checks and balances, including work on the 2025 Rivers State Appropriation Bill, which is still in process. 1 month after resumption, the sole administrator appointed 23 sole administrators to oversee the LGAs, pending the conduct of elections. He also changed the leadership of several boards and commissions, including RESEC, Primary Healthcare Board, and schools, amongst others. How has Ibokete Ibas's administration fared operating without the passage of the 2025 Appropriation Bill? While hosting the National Assembly Ad Hoc Committee on Emergency Rule and Implementation, recently, the sole administrator gave an account of his stewardship.
I recognize that peace and progress are impossible without political stability. That is why we embarked on broad-based consultations across all political divides, reaching out to stakeholders regardless of affiliation to reduce tension and create an environment where dialogue can replace confrontation. We also had direct engagements with key political stakeholders in the state. All engagements have been frank, inclusive, and productive.
The residents remain divided about his performance.
Returning democracy, ensuring of security, worker salary and welfare. Under the financial autonomy, you can spend 6 months, by Rivers State law, you can spend 6 months of the budget, 30% of the budget within the 6 months period, and that will cover budget. That is what he's been doing. And I'm sure that Ibas, as a retired military officer who is conscious, do not want to fall foul of the law. So he has to assiduously follow the rules as they are.
In Rivers State, that the Constitution has been violated, the rights of Rivers people have been violated, the right of the governor has been violated, the right of the House of Assembly members has been violated. Even the right, my right as a voter who voted for a governor and not a sole administrator has been violated.
However, the civil society organizations laud his efforts in keeping the peace.
Based on the marching order to restore parity, order, and stability to an extent, he has done that. Because now we don't wake up to the news that one faction is threatening this, some groups are going to be doing this. Now we are having, again, some semblances of calm in Rivers State.
Residents also noted a relative calm in the political climate, but believe some issues which concerns project continuation still needs to be addressed.
It's just like normal too, just like as it was.
He's trying his best, but in a real sense, the way the state is now is not in a good condition. And I'm only just praying for his time to just elapse and for him to just go.
For economist and academic Dr. Debbie Wiado, a 6-month stay without a democratically elected government may have adverse effects on investment.
The impact of it on the economy is that it strikes in fear. And
that affects the mentality of the investor. Investors always have fear because they're using real money.
While some Rivers people are very okay with the governance style of the sole administrator, others differ with this top line. And so many of their complaints include that projects are being neglected, especially the sanitary condition of River State. Right behind me is an example of what I'm talking about. Litters all over the metropolis. It is clear that Rivers people are patient for the 6 months to elapse. But I can see the eagerness when they spoke to me that they want to see the elected government come back into office. Until then, we'll keep on tracking on the activities, and only time can tell how the events will play out. From Port Harcourt, the River State capital, Deborah Balama, Channels Television News.